something that I feel like a lot of people need to remind themselves is that you deserve grace. Whether that be your current situation or whatever your situation is, I think we oftentimes find ourselves being our biggest critics, which is not a bad thing, but you also have to remember that you have to give yourself grace. If you want to grow, you also have to remind yourself that you're a human. I feel like sometimes even I catch myself doing this. I will be chasing something, whether that's my dream or a goal in the gym or anything. And if I don't hit it, I immediately get to beating myself up or why I didn't do this better or why I didn't hit this goal. And really, it's just a matter of you're human. You have to remind yourself that you're not going to be able to do everything that you want to do first, second, or even the third try sometimes. Sometimes it's going to take 4 or 5 tries. And once you learn to give yourself grace, you're also more apt to become better at whatever it is that you're doing. Because grace is also a big part of the process and the journey of self-healing or whatever goal it is that you're chasing. Because if you're just constantly berating yourself with all these negative thoughts, I mean, you become what you think. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not actually giving yourself the time to heal and pat yourself on the back and say, okay, I did this okay, and this can be done better, but I'm glad I did it, then you will make it a lot further than the person that's sitting here thinking about how they could have done this better and they're already thinking about their next move. When in reality, you have to give yourself time to, ponder a little bit and think, okay, here's what I could have done, but I'm also super proud of myself for even doing this. Forgot to turn all the overlays off. But I just feel like, for me personally, something I've been thinking about recently is how I'm my biggest critic. And I'm okay with being my biggest critic. Like, yes, I want to see the best version of myself, and I want to see the best version of whoever's watching this video, whether I know you or I don't know you. But I feel like you really have to remind yourself that telling yourself that you're proud of yourself is a big deal, and that telling yourself that you're okay with where you're at and that you'll get where you want to be, but you have to remind yourself that you're doing this for the first time ever. So whether that's chasing a goal, hitting a PR in the gym, hitting your mile-long run, however many, and you don't hit it, that's okay. And I keep emphasizing this because for me, somebody who is constantly chasing something, and I've also become recently happy with just, being able to even do that. Sometimes your bare minimum is somebody's full effort. So I think you have to remind yourself that it's okay, and you're going to be okay, and that you'll make it with whatever it is that you're going through. Some people have it harder. Some people have it a little easier, but at the end of the day, we're all human, and we all have to extend grace to ourselves. And we also have to remind ourselves that even trying when you don't do it or reach whatever it is that you're trying to reach is still a win in the book. It's still a swing that you're going for. So don't miss 100% of the shots that you're not taking because you're so upset with, oh my gosh, I could have done this better. And then your mind is fogged up with, okay, I'm here and I wanted to do this and I didn't do it. So now I'm going to beat myself up and make my negative thoughts even worse. And then when you try to reach it the next time, or when you're ready, you're going to be super psyched up about not being able to do it. I promise you, everything will work out the way it's supposed to work out. For me, being a streamer, I oftentimes catch myself thinking about how, oh, this stream didn't go this way, so I just I can't even be happy with the result. But I have to sit back and realize that this is a part of all of it. Like, not everything is going to go perfectly, and I have to tell myself that I'm proud of myself for continuing and persevering through 100% of the bad days that I've had. You've survived 100% of the bad days that you've ever had. And when you think about it like that, you kind of like take a second, you're like, wow, okay, actually I have. Because at the end of every tunnel, there's light. So we also love to just kind of be so caught up in how we didn't do what we wanted to do that we forget to applaud ourselves for the things that we did do, because there are goals that you've achieved. There are goals that you've seen for yourself and achieved. And I feel like we don't take those as heavily as we take the losses, which is so interesting to me, because isn't the whole point of life to reach our goals? So when we finally hit a goal that we hit, it's a good feeling, but we're already so ready to chase the next one. It's like, and I think that's where the thought of you have to be proud of yourself for doing it, and you have to be proud of yourself even if you don't hit your goals, because either way, you're going to beat yourself up, bro. So I just think, as humans, and the way all of our minds think is we're so caught up in, oh man, I didn't do this right and I want to do it better. But like extending yourself grace and reminding yourself that, I'm human, and even though I didn't do what I wanted to do, I'm still trying and I will get where I want to be, but I'm still figuring it out as you go on, because truthfully, this is your first time living. There's no question about that. This is your first time living. So I'm here to remind you that you have to extend yourself grace. And this is something that I just constantly think about when I'm chasing my goals or going down a new endeavor or going down a new anything, is that it'll be okay. And it may seem hard right now, and you may not be where you want to be, and you may be failing constantly. But the great thing about failure is that there's lessons inside of every failure. So instead of beating yourself up for not achieving whatever it is that you wanted to do, you need to remind yourself that, okay, there's a lesson in this failure, and I'm building up that rapport with myself and showing myself that even though I don't feel like I can do it, or that I don't hit my goal, I'm still going to keep showing up, because when I do hit it, it'll be life-changing. And that's really all it is. It's so simple, but I feel like the simplest things we look over, because like I said, bro, like we're so quick to really harp on the big things that we don't do, that whenever we do finally hit a goal, it's like, oh yeah, celebrate for a day, and then we're already, boom, right, ready for that next one. Boom, ready for the next goal. And like, what's the point of that if you're just gonna take your goals and hit them and then just be ready for the next one? Like, yes, it's okay to have new goals for yourself, and yes, I want you to set new goals for yourself, but also I want you to realize that you have to take the wins just as hard as you take the losses, and really be proud of yourself for trying and doing things that not a lot of people are doing. There's graveyards full of people who thought they had more time. I've seen that so many times, and the fact that you are watching this video means it probably found you at the right time. And if you've made it this far into the video, I do appreciate you. And I see a lot of great things in my niche of people that I talk to, and my little group of people that watch my videos and my whatever you want to call it. I get a lot of comments. When I get a comment, I read every one I see. Especially on TikTok, YouTube. You can see I'm trying to grow this one. But I just want to remind you that it's okay to fail. And you need to remind yourself that it's okay to be upset, but there's lessons in every failure, and failure isn't bad. I don't know where we've created this stigma that failure is not a good thing. But like I said, there's lessons in every failure. Whenever you fall down, you scrape your knee and you're like, dang, that kind of hurt, and you don't want to do it again. And that's a lesson in itself. Whenever you're trying to learn how to ride a bike, you have those training wheels on, and then eventually you bend those training wheels off and you're like, I don't even need them anymore. And that's pretty much what you're doing. Like, there's no other way to describe it. You literally have to just fail in order to achieve those goals. So stop focusing on, man, I keep failing. Why do I keep failing? And instead try to dissect the failure and be like, I'm proud of myself for even trying. 2, try and review the lesson. And if you can't see it immediately, you'll know when you come into it again in the future and you're like, okay, that's what this was for. That's something that I've learned throughout the last couple of years. And this is just something that I feel like a lot of people come to me with is like, dude, how do you take failure when you fail so much? And it's just that I have to give myself grace for even trying and remind myself that everything's going to work out the way it needs to be. Like, it may not look the exact way you want it to, but it's going to be 1,000 times better, and it's going to be sweeter, and everything that you are working for will come to you. Just stop rushing everything. Remind yourself that it's going to be okay, and just enjoy the process. I feel like we're so quick to want to rush the process, but like when you get there, we take the wins and we just ready for the next one. So like where you're at right now in the process, whether you're at the very beginning or you haven't even started, or you're in the middle of it and you're in the thick of it and it's getting treacherous, you need to enjoy that, because the bad days suck, yes, but the good days are going to feel even greater when you know that you've made it through and you've finally persevered through, and you are going to be even more happy because you're going to be like, bro, even though I didn't want to keep going, I kept going, and I need to applaud myself for that. So keep going. Remind yourself that it's okay. Everything's going to be okay, and you'll see where life takes you. Good luck.